Kunja Vihari.
एवं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद् दिवान भक्ति सिद्धांत सारस्वत ठाकुर श्री अनंत कोटि आचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की हरे कृष्ण. Hare Krishna. Welcome to ISKCON Detroit Srimad Bhagavatam morning class. We are reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, entitled Pandavas Retire Timely. Text. Hare Krishna. Welcome to ISKCON Detroit, Srimad-Bhagavatam morning class. So today we are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 15, the Pandavas Retire Timely. Text 50. Draupadī cha Tadagnaya Draupadī cha Tadagnaya Patīnām anapekṣatāṃ Vāsudeve Bhagavati He ekānta-matir apatam Draupadī cha tadagnaya Patīnām anapekṣatāṃ Vāsudeve Bhagavati ekānta-matirapatam. Anyone would like to repeat?
Draupadī cha tadagnaya
Patīnām anapekṣatāṃ
Vāsudeve
Bhagavati ekānta-matirapatam. Let us go word by word. Draupadī, the wife of Pandavas.
Draupadi, the wife of Pandavas.
Cha, and Tada, at that time. Ajaya, knowing Lord Kṛṣṇa fully well. Patīnām, of the husbands. Anapekṣatāṃ, who did not care for her. Vāsudeve, unto Lord Vasudeva Kṛṣṇa. Bhagavati, the personality of Godhead. He, exactly. Ekānta, absolutely. Mati, concentration. Apa, God. Tam, him, the Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Draupadi also saw that her husbands, without caring for her, were leaving home. She knew well about Lord Vasudeva, Kṛṣṇa, the absolute personality of Godhead. Both she and Subhadra became absorbed in thoughts of Kṛṣṇa and attained the same results as their husbands. Please repeat. Draupadi also saw that her husbands, without caring for her, were leaving home. She knew well about Lord Vasudeva, Kṛṣṇa, the personality of Godhead. Both she and Subhadra became absorbed in thoughts of Kṛṣṇa and attained the same results as their husbands. Purport. When flying an airplane, one cannot take care of other planes. Everyone has to take care of his own plane. And if there is any danger, no other plane can help another in that condition. Similarly, at the end of life, when one has to go back home, back to Godhead, everyone has to take care of himself without help rendered by another. This help, the help is, however, offered on the ground before flying in space. Similarly, the spiritual master, the father, the mother, the relatives, the husband, and others can all render help during one's lifetime, but while crossing the sea, one has to take care of himself and utilize the instructions formerly received. Draupadi had 5 husbands, and no one asked Draupadi to come. Draupadi had to take care of herself without waiting for her great husbands. And because she was already trained, she at once took to concentration upon the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva, Kṛṣṇa, the personality of Godhead. The wives also got the same result as their husbands in the same manner. That is to say, without changing their bodies, they reached the destination of Godhead. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura suggests that both Draupadi and Subhadra, although her name is not mentioned herein, got the same result. None of them had to quit the body. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyev Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Guru Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. So, welcome to ISKCON Detroit Srimad Bhagavatam morning class. So, yesterday we have seen how Vidura, while on pilgrimage, left his body at Draupadī. Because he was absorbed in thought of Krishna, he was received by the denizens of Pitraloka planet, where he returned to his original post. So, today it's about Queen Draupadi. Also saw that her husbands, without caring for her, were leaving home. She knew well about Lord Vasudeva, Kṛṣṇa, the personality of Godhead, and both she and Subhadra became absorbed in thoughts of Kṛṣṇa and attained the same results as their husbands. So, when we ask in our current scenario, like, who is the person that you depend mostly upon on our regular basis? Many people may answer like parents, spouse, children, friends, employer, like wealth, some savings and everything about that, right? And the next question would be, will that person be able to accompany you at the time of death? No. Of course, the answer is no. That's exactly where today's verse begins. And we are reaching the conclusion of the first canto, where we have already witnessed Arjuna's separation from Kṛṣṇa, Yudhishthira's renunciation, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula and Sahadeva following their elder brother Yudhishthira Maharaj, and Vidura returning to his original position. Now Queen Draupadi remains. Everyone naturally expects that, oh, surely her husbands will take care of her, but something to our surprise happened. No one even asked her to come. Srimad Bhagavatam is teaching a good lesson before closing this chapter, one final lesson. Every soul must personally choose Kṛṣṇa. No one can do it on our behalf. As even Purport mentioned, like when flying an airplane, one cannot take care of other planes. Each and everyone's journey is different from others, and one has to take care of their own journey first. And today, we shall see three important things. Why must everyone walk the final journey alone? How can we develop exclusive dependence on Kṛṣṇa like Draupadī? And to conclude with, how can we begin practicing dependence on Kṛṣṇa from today? So first comes first is like the journey of every soul must be alone. So something looking strange. So we'll see what it is. Patinam anapekshatam. Her husbands did not wait for Queen Draupadī. And this does not mean that they stopped loving Draupadī. It means that the time had come for every soul to individually complete their life's final examination. And Srila Prabhupada explains that at the time of retirement, and especially at end of one's life, one must rely on spiritual training that is already being received. And others can help us during our whole life, but they cannot accompany us on the final journey. And if we ask a question like, suppose there are 5 doctors stand beside a patient, and can any one of them can accompany in his death? No, right? So similarly, everyone must cross their death personally. They have to face that examination by themselves. They, in a preparation stage, they may take help from many people, but at the time of examination, they have to take their own examination by themselves. And here in purport, Srila Prabhupada's famous analogy from the purport is like, when airplanes fly, one airplane cannot fly another airplane. Every pilot must control his own aircraft. Similarly, at death, father, mother, husband, wife, children, friends cannot accompany us. Only our consciousness travels with us. And we have to extensively spend our time in purifying our consciousness and also expanding this. And this is one of the strongest analogies that can be observed in the entire first canto, because it has a very deep philosophical meaning, and it conveys us easily that our spiritual journey is very different from others, and also we have to take care of ourselves first before even guiding others. And one of the practical examples that we can observe in our current day-to-day life is like parents, many of our parents teach children how to walk. Eventually the child walks, the child learns from their parents, and he by himself walks along. Jai Shri Śrīnivāsa Jai Jagannath Jai Baldev Jai Subhadra Maya Jai Shri Ram Ki Jai. So even teachers prepare students for their final exams and many other exams. But students write their own exams by themselves. And doctors guide their patients, but patients take their medicine by themselves. So similarly, Guru, spiritual master, gives us instructions, but disciples must practice themselves in order to face the final exam by themselves. And when we see in the Mahabharata, throughout the life, Draupadī has depended upon the Pandavas, but at the end, she did not depend upon even them. She depended only upon Supreme Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa. And that's how in the translation it was mentioned, like after absorbing in full thoughts of Kṛṣṇa, she also attained the same results as their husbands along with Mother Subhadra. And even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches us that Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. Ultimately, our eternal identity is not as someone's wife or husband or father or mother, manager or student. Our eternal identity is a servant of Kṛṣṇa. And when we observe a simple analogy in regards to this point is like, on the graduation day, teachers will not be receiving your degree. Parents cannot write your exam. So similarly, Guru or spiritual master prepares us, and we must personally remember Kṛṣṇa. We must take that lessons, instructions seriously and try to practice them on a daily basis, so that it would be easy for us to remember Kṛṣṇa at the ending stage of our life. Next comes is like exclusive dependence on Kṛṣṇa, ekānta-bhakti. This is the main core or essence of this today's verse. As one may question like, what is this ekānta? It is one-pointed, exclusive, undivided dependence. And Srila Prabhupada repeatedly emphasizes that renunciation means not depending on material arrangements, but depending fully on Kṛṣṇa. Mentioning of Srimad Bhagavad-gītā, chapter 9, text 22, and last chapter 18, chapter 61 text. And one may question like, when do we remember Kṛṣṇa most? During our problems? Why? Because during the problems, when it is out of your control, then you will pray, like we will all pray intensely to Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa, I tried my level best, but this problem is so much, causing so much suffering to me. Please try to help me out to get out of this. And the goal is to remember Him even during success. If one is able to remember Him even during his success, then he attained that perfection of remembering Kṛṣṇa at all times. And when we see the example of Queen Draupadī, that when she was insulted in the Kuru assembly, she first tried holding cloth and asking help from her husbands and also all the elderly people in the palace. But finally, she couldn't get any response from anyone, and she finally lifted her both hands, calling Govinda, Kṛṣṇa, and that surrender has saved her from a great humiliation. And when she finally completely depended upon Lord Kṛṣṇa and asked for His help, then Kṛṣṇa began to supply unlimited sari, unlimited cloth to her. And Kṛṣṇa says in Bhagavad-gītā, chapter 9, text 22, Yogakshemam vahamyaham. Kṛṣṇa says, I personally carry what my devotee lacks. And Srila Prabhupada explains this very verse during the lecture. And even when we see the 18th chapter, text 66, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshasyami masucha. The verse indicates the real dependence on Kṛṣṇa, and there is no fear when we completely depend on Kṛṣṇa. We have to gradually develop to that stage, and we have to understand that it is through Kṛṣṇa's mercy and His divine plan that we are undergoing all these circumstances, and whatever it might be, either it might be happiness or distress, everything. And even in the distress, we have to understand that it might be Kṛṣṇa's plan, and there might be something behind that plan, and something good might be coming up in near future. So we have to understand that. And even in text 61 of chapter 18 Bhagavad-gītā, says like Krishna is already within our heart. We don't have to search anywhere else. Prabhupada beautifully says that Krishna is within me. And when we see the story of Gajendra, in the upcoming cantos we're going to see the story of Gajendra, where he did not find any help in elephant's family or strength. His only dependence on Krishna, Narayana, called out very loudly and intensely. He prayed through his prayers to Supreme Lord Krishna. Then the Lord came immediately without even wasting a moment. That dependence shows like how Krishna loves his devotees the most. That's how like pure devotees completely depend upon Krishna. Everything they rest upon Krishna only. And the good example is like Prahlad Maharaj, where he faced his troubles from his father, his teachers, and many people around him. But still, who protected him ultimately? It's the Krishna who has protected him, and Prahlad Maharaj has a great faith on Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And if we see in the previous chapters, in chapter 2, text 7, Vasudeve Bhagavati, Srila Prabhupada quotes this verse, and here we observe bhakti naturally produces knowledge and detachment. Real dependence creates vairagya, renunciation. And one may think like, this dependence begins today. It's not just begins at the time of death. But how can it be start like? How can the dependence begin? It will come through your attentive daily chanting, hearing daily Bhagavatam, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, rendering service in temples or to the pure devotees, and taking the association of pure Vaishnavas, and honoring prasada, and honestly praying for Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and asking for the strength to believe in his, to have faith in his plan, step by step, like one after the other, little by little. It's not like 1 day or 2 day process, but it takes like significant amount of time, like significant amount of years. So we have to slowly take little by little steps, one step at a time, and slowly, gradually, if you have 1% dependence today, after you compare like 1 year, it might be increasing to 3% or 4%. So gradual process. But if you are consistent in your sadhana, and if you maintain discipline in your sadhana, then everything falls into picture by the mercy of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And when we see the analogy of a life jacket, and we all know that swimming helps us a lot in that circumstances. In the circumstances where you have to rescue someone, or you have to rescue yourself first in crossing some puddle or river at some time. But when there were severe storms and you are stuck in a great sea or ocean, what would you do? Even though if you know swimming and if you have the life jacket, but still you may not be crossing over. But at that time, our life jacket will be Krishna. He is the ultimate protector, and he is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he is the supreme controller. So if he wants to protect, he will protect us by any means. We do not have even idea how he protects. And when we see the example of a small child holding his father's hand while crossing the road, the child may not very well know the traffic rules, but he has the firm faith in his father and he trusts his father very much that, okay, my father is there, he will take care of me and he will make me cross over this road in a very smooth manner, without causing any injuries or any damage to my body, and he will protect me for sure. And that similar kind of trust, if we develop on Krishna, it is the bhakti or devotional service that we develop towards Krishna. And also, if we see the example of a mobile charger, without charging for a long time, the mobile battery gets drained off and eventually it gets died. So similarly, without practicing daily hearing and chanting, our faith also becomes weak. So our bhakti or devotional service keeps our spiritual battery charged, and if we are consistent in practicing in our sadhana and if we are disciplined in our sadhana, then by the mercy of our Guru, spiritual master and Krishna, then our everything, our path to Krishna and also our sincerity in devotional service increases step by step, day by day. But if you are not consistent, if you are falling apart, okay, one day I am doing 16 rounds and other 3-4 days I am not doing any rounds. So that may not work out. Even if you cannot do consistently certain number of rounds initially, but you try to start with at least a few number of rounds, whatever it might be, it may be 1, 2 or 3, whatever it might be, but you have to keep a number so that you will chant your rounds and then you go and finish your rounds, then you go to bed on the day. Without chanting those specific number of rounds, you must not leave to bed on that day. So if by practicing that, your consistency, your discipline and also commitment towards chanting increases, and also you will gain eventually the confidence in you by improving daily step by step. After a few days, after 2-3 weeks, you can slowly increase your number of rounds, and you can even adjust your schedules so that it will be easy for you to follow the process. And also, once you start practicing it, everything, Krishna will arrange everything and every circumstance in such a way that it will be easy for us to follow in the footsteps of our acharyas and our spiritual masters. So, Draupadī teaches one of the final lessons of the first canto. She was not saved because she had 5 great devotee husbands, but she was saved because she had one supreme protector throughout her life. Relationships are gift from Supreme Lord Krishna, because they are not our ultimate shelter. The real shelter is at the lotus feet of Lord Vasudeva, because we see that Queen Draupadī, without changing her body, she attained the same destination as the Pandavas. How? Just through exclusive remembrance of Krishna. Completely remembering Krishna, constantly remembering, she was in the thoughts of Krishna. And as Srila Prabhupada concludes, Krishna consciousness is meant to awaken the soul's natural relationship with Krishna. And when we understand that Vasudeva is everything, our life becomes centered on the eternal rather than the temporary. See, if we understand Kṛṣṇa is the ultimate controller and the supreme proprietor, then we don't fight for small things like, oh, I own this, I own that. Do you, after you leave this body, do you even carry anything with you? Nothing. And we come to this material world with nothing, and we leave this material world with nothing. So whatever that is being supplied in the so-called period of our life, it is all due to the mercy of Kṛṣṇa. It is He who supplies all the necessary things for us to sustain over this planet, over in this material world. So, instead of developing attachments to so-called material opulences or material afflictions, material relations or material things, if we try to develop the taste for devotional service and try to develop the attachment towards the pure devotees and take their association and regularly chant the holy names and develop the taste for holy name, that remains with us as eternally, and if we try to practice that sincerely, and if we try to develop the taste for holy name and devotional service towards Kṛṣṇa, that even can transform us from this material world into the spiritual planet, where we can serve Kṛṣṇa eternally without any interruption and without any material disturbances like birth, death, old age and disease. There won't be anything. Our body becomes spiritualized, and we can serve Kṛṣṇa unlimitedly and constantly, eternally. Wherever Kṛṣṇa desires us to be serving, if we try to align our desire with Kṛṣṇa's desire, then our life will be so fruitful and also purposeful. And I would like to conclude today's class by stating few takeaways. So from today's verse we have seen everyone must walk the final journey personally. Many people can guide, encourage and inspire us, but each soul must cultivate its own relationship with Kṛṣṇa, because we all have a unique relationship with Kṛṣṇa. Some may have been friends of Kṛṣṇa, some are they might be serving Kṛṣṇa in different means. And spiritual training is preparation for the final examination. Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, Guru, scriptures and devotees and family prepare us throughout our life so that we can remember Kṛṣṇa when it matters the most, at the ending stage of our life. And exclusive dependence is the essence of bhakti. Ekānta-bhakti means placing Kṛṣṇa at the center of every decision, fear, hope and aspiration. And our real protection comes from Kṛṣṇa. Just as Queen Draupadī experienced in the Kuru assembly, complete surrender invites the Lord's unlimited protection and shelter. And we have to practice this dependence every day, step by step, small steps, one step at a time, like by practicing daily chanting, hearing Bhagavad-gītā, serving devotees and sincerely, and rendering our sincere service to Kṛṣṇa and praying sincerely, that we gradually transform this occasional remembrance into unwavering dependence onto the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Sri Sri Radha Kunj. The ultimate goal of every relationship is to bring us closer to Kṛṣṇa, one step closer to Radha Kunj. Family, friends and society are very valuable when they help us deepen our devotion towards Kṛṣṇa. Ultimately, our eternal identity is as servants of Lord Vasudeva, and that relationship alone continues forever. It is the eternal relationship that will continue and that will flourish forever in our life. And as we are part and parcel of Kṛṣṇa, when we see the example of a nut and a machine, the nut or a bolt which is fixed in a machine, that's when it got purpose fulfilled. Otherwise, if it is left alone, there will be no purpose of it being left alone. And when it is serving the whole machine, that means life is so purposeful and so meaningful. So similarly, we are part and parcel of Kṛṣṇa. When we try to serve the Supreme Whole, Sri Kṛṣṇa, then our life will also be meaningful and so blissful. So I would like to conclude by stating this. And if you have any questions, comments, realizations, and I'm sorry if I misspoke anything. So very wonderful lesson today. It's like each and every one of us has a unique journey, and we have to take care of our journey by our we may take help or guidance in our preparation stage, but ultimately at the stage of during the stage of examination, we have to take that by ourselves. So, Hare Krishna.
Need to walk alone.
What?
Walk alone.
Yeah.
Spiritual path is alone.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if we can take the inspiration, guidance from people, but ultimately your plane is your plane. You have your own, your journeys. You have to take care of your journey. You have to practice your sadhana. No one will practice on behalf of you. I will do rounds for this Prabhu. They may help you. They may help you in difficult times in getting out of trouble or something. But ultimately, it's your take on it, how you improve on it, and how your dedication towards Krishna. So. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.